The Allegheny Journal was always interested in informing the public. And the character next to us is Dr. Gary Pillow, who's a professional audiologist. He's a friend, he's an associate. Many people know him in Covington. And we asked him to join us today to talk about a pesky problem, and that is hearing loss. Welcome, Dr. Pillow.
Well, thank you very much, Jerry. I'm glad to be here, and thank you for having me.
Hearing loss problems sometimes are embarrassing for people, and we thought we'd get Dr. Pillow to help us wade through some of these issues and maybe help us all out, just in case you share a similar problem to mine, which is a little bit of hearing loss. Dr. Pillow, how did you first get interested in this subject? It's really detailed. There's not that many audiologists. Why did you decide to get into this field?
Well, Jerry, I had two grandfathers who both had hearing loss. One of my grandfathers, Opie Pillow, was approached by a traveling salesperson. This was many years ago, and this traveling salesperson sold him a used hearing aid and never came back. So he was out of money, and when that hearing aid broke in about a week and a half, he was out of luck. So I thought, that's not right. And then my other grandfather had a huge hearing aid that looked like the size of remember transistor radios?
These are the old days.
Yes,
right.
Old days. I'm talking about the old days. And he had one in his back pocket, which never helped him hear anyway.
Dr. Pillow, few of us really understand the causes of hearing loss. Are we guilty of doing it to ourselves, or is it, a function of our DNA? I mean, what is the chief cause of hearing loss?
Well, that's a great question, because there are many causes of hearing loss, and people do, in fact, do things to themselves, but also some of it happens naturally. And first, to explain that, we need to understand what are the components of the ear. And we have the outer ear, which you see, this is called a pinna or auricle, and then the ear canal, and that's the outer ear. And then we have the eardrum, which begins the middle ear, that's 3 layers of skin, and the little tiny bones, the 3 smallest bones of the body, the hammer, the anvil, and stirrup is commonly known. And then we have, that's all of the middle ear along with eustachian tube. Then we have the inner ear, which is the nerve center. Anything in the inner ear usually is permanent hearing loss, and that can be caused by damage by noises, and that's why we should wear hearing protection. And we have all kinds of hearing protection that would be useful. And we need to protect our eyes and head and all kinds of things depending on what we're doing. And so, and we can make custom hearing protection as well. But that's what we can protect the nerve damage with.
So it's not a myth, some of us characters in the 70s and 80s that went to Pink Floyd and some the Kiss and concerts, and we may have gotten a little too close. Is that a realistic cause of, or at least an element of hearing loss?
Absolutely, and that's why you need to protect your hearing, and young people need to as well. When I was in college studying audiology, I went to a Pure Prairie League concert and did a noise measurement as a class project, and everyone in that whole small auditorium where Pure Prairie League sang Amy, one of my favorite songs, they all lost hearing permanently because of the damage unless they had hearing protection.
And so how about those of us who like to target shoot? I have a 30-06. That makes quite a hit. Does it make sense that you probably always should have protection?
Absolutely, and I would encourage this type. If dones are really good, and we have also the type that go in the ear, and then custom ones. But any type of target practice, you don't have to hear the game coming. You're just there practicing. You definitely are going to be exposed to loud noise. Absolutely, you need hearing protection.
Well, after we've messed up, what do we do about it? Can you give the public a feel for some of their options? Obviously, you probably can't redo what you were born with, but there must be several options that people can consider.
Well, there are, absolutely. First of all, when people come to see me and I test their hearing, I'm not looking just for noise damage. I'm looking for anything that could be in the outer ear as well, or the middle ear. And if something has happened to the eardrum, a rupture, or maybe something like a growth in the middle ear called a cholesteatoma, or just cerumen, everyone wants wax in their ears to be the problem, blocking their ear by wax. And again, that's called cerumen. Well, if that can be taken out and they can hear again, great, then they've had a good hearing protector there for a while. And the other thing, though, is there could be a ruptured eardrum, so never use Q-tips to put in your ears. My pediatrician, Dr. Humphreys, 1,000 years ago told me to never put anything smaller than a football in my ear. So we should heed to that. Our ears naturally allow the wax to come out, and if it doesn't, then the ear, nose, and throat physician can help us.
So there's some of the options that people can consider, and I guess in the most egregious of cases, there are surgical operations. Well, first of all, we need to come to you, a person like you, to pretty well cement down what the basic issue is. And you're one of the guys that can give us the answers.
Yes, I like to analyze everything and find out what's exactly causing the hearing problem and the nature of it. I analyze the middle ear cavity, the eardrum movement, and all these things in addition to checking the hearing acuity or sensitivity. And then if an ear, nose, and throat doctor cannot help with surgery or medication, and or either, or possibly, then I can help with hearing aids amplification. We have all kinds of hearing aids available all the time. And
those don't look like transistor radios.
No, they don't. And some of them are really small. Actually, I put one on before I came here. I don't wear a hearing aid, but guess what? You couldn't see it. Did you know I had it on? And look at it. It's so easy. Put in your ear and it amplifies. And it's like a prescription. Like glasses are made to help your vision, and you have to have a prescription for hearing aids as well. Because if you want to, you can go to the store and get glasses and help you a little bit, but they're okay. But the hearing aids that are made for your hearing loss are the best. And the glasses made for your eye or vision problem are the best.
You've been very informative. It sounds like to us that guessing about hearing loss probably isn't the brightest thing in the world position to have. And it is, first of all, we're very thankful that you joined us today. And it sounds like the beginning of the process is a phone call away.
That's right. And one thing I would like to add is that hearing loss is very important to know that it can cause early signs of dementia if it's not corrected early, and it can just make it happen faster. So we ought to, because people do not want to be in a communication setting and things like that. So we need to look at hearing loss and correct it so we will help prevent onset of cognitive issues.
Thanks very much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.